Hello JOVIM family, this is Jacqueline, your girl again, dropping the gems on how to attract wealth and make money flow to you. Do you want to become the money magnet? Things in place that you need to make changes, and the changes start with you. Build multiple streams of income, stay focused, invest in yourself, create goals. Before I even started the nursing course, those who don't know, I'm also a nurse, okay? I'm a trained nurse. I've been working in Britain for years, but I just decided, pause everything, carry everything to Ghana for this change. There are things you must do to just change, things you've never done before, okay? So as a family, we decided, before I even had the third child, because by then I had two children. That was 2010. Before I even did the nursing course, I told my husband, I would love to settle in Britain, but I don't want to live there permanently. I don't know whether some of you have such a feeling, but you know you're here, yes. There's good jobs, good everything, but home is home. I really needed to go back to the continent, whatever the cost, not visit. Not for a while. My thing was I need to go back home. I can always come back anytime for anything, but home is best. That was the first thought. Everybody who has been in the diaspora or lives in UK or America or wherever, you know that as we move into these countries, you need a particular period to settle in. What I mean by that, once you move from your continent, it doesn't mean once you get to the other side, everything is straightforward. There's time for studying, time for getting your stay, you know the hustle, okay? So all that mentioned and time passing, I never killed this dream. I never killed my vision. I kept it alive. What I like to do is write things down in diaries. I write things, those who are working with me, those who have lived with me, those who know me know, memory, my memory is reasonable. When it comes to reminding myself of things, it's very quick for me to remember the date, the time, and the place, because I write things down. I record things. I keep goals, short-term and long-term goals afloat. I need to remember that that is the path I'm trying to take. Like, you know, life has different challenges. So back to the point, sorry about going back here and there, because it's a personal story, but the fact is you'll be faced with challenges that make you change or divert from your original plan, okay? That's one. Secondly, family and life happens. We cannot deny that. All we need to remember is stay focused. You need to find reasons and ways to stay focused. What most of us do is find reasons to fail. I put it there because as adults, there's always a reason of saying, oh, the children are still in school, my husband is not ready to go, or the job has tied me down, you know, this and the other. What do you want as a family? We needed good quality of life. We needed more space. Britain provides housing, but not to the African taste. We like our space, okay? And our space is there, but they are not affordable, let's be honest. Even if you worked and worked, very few people are able to even get a mortgage to afford the small squares of housing. Let's agree. And some who have jumped onto the mortgage stand or stepping stone or whatever, housing ladder, whatever you call it, are struggling. You always worry if you manage it or you'll be failing this month, the job is there. And especially in this current market where COVID changed everything. COVID shook every foundation, financially, mentally, and physically, okay? It's not a reason to fail, but it's an opportunity for some of us. That gave me opportunity. Opportunity to make up my mind. Opportunity to do or die. Opportunity to really stay focused, okay? The first question is finance. With everything, we need money. Whether on this continent, Africa, or back in UK, or wherever you are, you need the money, okay? When you start working per hour, is how we earned in UK, you feel like there's not enough hours. At times, if there's enough hours, there's not enough jobs to go around. At times, if that's the case, you don't have the chance to do that because you have children to look after. There is always a reason to fail or to hold you back. But you need to learn how to go around about it. First, I'll talk about it in another video somehow, but I'll mention it briefly. If you're doing a monthly pay job and you have a chance for bank shifts or what we call agency work, personally I decided to make all the bills, major bills, rent, energy, anything big day, insurance, car insurance, anything that costs a lot of money and is monthly, I put in the direct debit. It's very easy to forget not to pay and then penalize for no reason. Okay. The other thing I did is the agency work, like bank shifts. I didn't do many, but I planned on how many, at least 2 or 3 a week if I had the chance. And that's what I use for, I call it the other things outside the UK. Okay. One thing I must say that is an advantage is we have a chance of our currency. The British currency, that's the pound, or the dollar in America, whichever way, is quite strong compared to the currencies on the continent. So you're always in a position that those things fluctuate, prices keep changing. You're still in position to afford them somehow. What do you want? Is it land? One thing I would say is you need to find a chance to go for holiday, even if it's for 1 week. Take that annual leave and go to the continent and purchase your land in person. Either discuss it with the elderly member of the family, somebody you trust, to the point that you're about to break the deal, pack your stuff and go and do that deal. Come back with your documentation. Be sure that land is there, because I've had stories, or you've had stories where one piece of land is sold to about, I don't know how many people. People are desperate. They need the income. And integrity and honesty, I don't know where it went, but it's one thing that we've been lacking in these years. Okay. Anyway, that is land. If you're lucky and you came to Britain with already enough family land, or already have your own land, or you've already had your house, good luck to you. At least you're lucky. If you didn't know, I should say it, you're lucky. Okay, so you have to have that land, depending on your pocket again. How big do you want it? Do you want something to keep you working until you drop again, or you want something manageable? Once your house is there, you have a small piece that has maybe a farm or something. What do you want to do? You can't just say, I'm going to Africa. You've been there before, you're not new. You know what works in your country and what makes people struggle. You know what is lacking and what is still lacking up to date. There are things you've complained about for years. Even when you were children, roads was an issue. Electricity was still an issue. That's power. Okay. Water was an issue and it still is. Why is it yet we know the problems and we are still leaving them to stay? Because some of us who have realized how to do things are stuck abroad. I call it exile. I have to be honest, I call it exile. Some of us who have never traveled think it's good life. It looks that way because you've hustled a bit on your continent, but the fact remains that they take everything from you, including your freedom. To come as a second or third citizen in a country where you're used to your freedom before, to me is 1,000 steps backwards. By the time you settle in these countries, you know what I mean. There's the papers, this, the other, the money, all this. Settling is not just settling, it is money that at times you've not even got, reasonably that you don't settle in a job straight away. We know what it is. I'll not go back to that too much. Okay, so we talked about housing, water. Guys, if your village or your city, if you want to dwell in the city, for my case, I've been in the city, but I realized village, where we call village, is better. Reason being that your money goes a bit further. Okay, more resources with less competition are in the places we call villages, and a chance to develop with people who are not really pushing hard. You know, where we have people killing each other for what? Competing for what? I don't even know. Let me not go back to that. Okay, I got to the village. Village being that I can grow my own food, I can acquire the land, God willing, to do that, to farm, to do. I want you to be self-sufficient. Okay. If you're the kind of like me, I don't want to be in the village. No. I want to be in the city. Yet you're dropping from London, which is very expensive, and you're coming to maybe Accra, thinking that, oh, because it's in Africa, it's cheap. That's a lie. I'll repeat. The difference is the currency, but the standard of living is up there. Okay? You may call it a city, but if you change it to pounds, it's almost a fraction less, but you're almost paying for a pound for a pound. And remember, you come with income, and if you've not created income sources or streams of income, you're spending what you're not replacing. That's why some people, you stay for a few years and say, that's it, quits, I'm going back. Okay, I have so much to say, and I'm here and there. Income. Guys, the historians, JOVIM family, invest in the continent. Whatever you see as a shortfall or what is lacking, in my opinion, is your chance of what is available for you to do for that community. Okay? If you think water is the issue, your pounds that you call small could dig a borehole, put an electric pump in it, 1 or 2, depending on what you want. If you put people from the community to look after those things, that is income, however small. I don't know, but that's income. You're supplying water readily available, people are willing to take because it's a necessity. If it's abroad, unfortunately, the neighbors you may have in whatever setting, if it's Accra, for example, which is already developed, is gated community, places are arranged in estates, you don't get much, but if you have the money, you can get 2 plots instead of 1. But then that means the road is already set and part of the plan. If you're in the village like me, that means we are still using the dusty roads. Okay? Convincing neighbors who are hardly finding food to eat, convincing neighbors who are also trying to find their feet to dig a road will be in years, okay? But as for yourself or for myself, I paved the way all through to around my property, and maybe others will see from that and continue. You see? There are things I cannot solve as a family or as me. They are beyond me. But there are things that I can get now, at least solve 90% of my issues or issues around what I already have, while I wait for the other 10% whenever it will come. Okay? You should not have that as a reason to worry. That's what I call compromise. Do you want to live in a shoebox compared to having your mansion? To be honest, very few of us can afford a mansion or a bigger house in UK. I wouldn't afford that. Even if I tried, I would afford the medium one, but also hoping and struggling to push to pay for it. Because once the one income you have is going to that, how about the food and the rest of the life you have around you? Okay, that's my opinion. Housing. I've realized some of us, the people from the diaspora, come for short holidays. Due to what we have mentioned, you have to go back to your job, you have to go back to that life you've created abroad. But I believe you would love to stay more than 2 weeks, only that, let's be honest, it's not easy to afford that. If you did, then your other job will be at stake because your employer cannot wait that long. Maybe your annual leave is only 2 weeks and a few days. That's the other way. But I've realized we spend money on hotels. That's good, it supports the economy. Who owns a hotel? I don't know. I don't care because I'm not a hotel person. So I would think that if I got land first, or you got land, started a reasonable house or sized house, you don't have to drop the mansion straight away. Have that in the plan. Have the space for it. Maybe start the foundation for it. But have a side house, a house on the side, where you can crash your 2 weeks. You lose nothing. Nobody cares. After the 2 weeks, you a memory. Oh, she was here. She's back in Britain. Yeah, what you spent on and how much you spent is your own show on social media, wherever you want to show it off. But if you want to really come back to the continent with time, I don't say pack today because it takes a while, you're resettling in your own countries. And if you take long, my thought is we'll soon be tourists in our own continents. Why? We will not be able to afford the housing, we will not be able to afford the land, we will not be able to know anybody because most people have moved on, passed on. God help us, okay? The earlier you come back with the people you still know, the better, than just dump yourself into strangers in your own continent, which is possible and is coming. Okay, that said, housing issue solved, I believe. Forget this, the designs, that can be on your plan, but put out something that instead of crashing in 2 weeks in a hotel, you can use, okay? Accommodation sorted as far as I'm concerned. If you're somebody who doesn't embarrass yourself, dump yourself with the relatives, which is a good thing, but they can also accommodate you for 2 weeks. When the pounds are gone, you're as boring as anything else. Sorry, but that's a fact. I believe some of you have experienced it and say, I'll never go back to my relatives, I'd rather stay in the hotel. Prepare yourself by investing in your continent. Okay. Schools, for those who have children, still is your budget, your choice. There's international schools if you still want the British education, westernized education. There is the average, there is the everybody can go. The choice is yours. Where you start is your choice. Unless you want to show off, mine are in this international one, even if they just go and attend and spend your money, it's a choice. Okay, so the schools are there. For my case, I'm lucky, I don't have to rush to the school. My values are far different from what I've been seeing, and thank God, we are tired, we need a break, okay? Anyway, schools are already there. You choose from boarding houses, mixed single schools, international schools, faith schools, they're all here. Your money and choice and belief. Okay, that's sorted. The other thing was food. What would the kids eat? They are British. My dear, let me tell you one thing. One thing that God gave us is blood is thicker than water. Those kids you think are British only eat sandwich. Yeah? McDonald's. When trained in time, they start appreciating your culture food. Food is the same in the continent. We are preparing it differently. Okay, we call it different names, but it's the same. McDonald's, KFC, Ghana has KFC by the way, and their food could drop you because the bucket is like, I don't know, 16, 18 pieces, not just pieces, big giant pieces. I think it's turkey, not chicken anymore, because they are big. It's there. It still tastes great. Are you going to dwell on that for life, or you're going to do your own kind of food? Balance it. No excuse, guys, let's be honest. Kids, as long as you're hungry and you prepare your food decently, they'll eat it. Plus a little bit of sugar of showing of, oh, this is nice, this does this. Kids adverts should be in your head. Anyway, the food we eat, we make our own fufu. We don't buy the boxed one. Rice is still the same. I prepare it Ghanaian mutual. Rice circles, for those who, my kids call it rice circles, but it's called mutual. We have fufu, banku, gari, we have yam, which is cocoa yam. We have cocoa, I think that is what we call plantain, cooked or fried plantain. Cassava chips, cassava flour, in whichever form, that is also in Uganda. So basically, to be honest, the continent is blessed. How you have designed things, what you've learned where you've been, add the flavor to it. Yes? Package it your way and you're okay. Okay. One thing I appreciate, and I must say that you should not even ask, is the weather. Look at me. I'm this. I like covering up a little bit, yes, but soon I'll be in a small vest because it's hot. Besides, it's every day. Once in a while it showers, rains a bit, but it's manageable. Okay. That's the weather. The kids love it. They are in short service. British kids don't have time for anything else. Okay. But other than that, it's worth it. Okay. Otherwise, we're prepared. Some are in your questions, some might not. I work online. You see, I post videos, and I tend to direct my work will be online, basically on different platforms or something, but I want to work from home, and I've started on that. As I speak, I woke up, did my farm chores, house chores, and then I'm in my office time. Okay, because I have my office space. The kids respect that, and they also respect the family time, whereby we chat how the day has been, what you're planning for tomorrow, and things like that. Which we never had in the UK. We hardly had time to sit except to give instruction. Don't forget to do this, this, and this, and this at school. I'm picking you at this time. Don't forget to be ready. Your uniform. Those instructions, I think they're out of the window in a way because they are not necessary here. There is freedom. There is space, respect for one another, and time. I appreciate the pound, but the time, guys. Where I said time is the first few days and weeks. Anyway, I would just drift into sleep. I was so knackered. I was tired. You don't feel it when the adrenaline has kicked in and you have to do a shift 9 to 5. Tomorrow is late shift, tomorrow is night. You don't feel it that much. You just say, oh, I'm tired, but still go. This time the body crashed. I was not sick, but when I slept, I slept. Yes, I feel rested. I feel energetic, and I must say, to experience that, you need this. I don't care if you make it 3 weeks, 2 weeks, 4 weeks, a month or two, or half of the year in Africa, the other half in Britain. You can still plan it around your schedule and enjoy both lives. I enjoy both. As I speak, I'm about to come back to UK to enjoy a bit of time. There are things I need to pick up to close the chapter. But then, that's the option part. Don't feel like you don't have an option because you're in a 9 to 5, you're in Britain, you have to keep up appearance, keep up with the jaundice. Oh, please. Have that. We grow fast and this life is one. Yes, after life you believe in that, good. But as I say, you live once. And I'm not 18, let's be honest. You are not 18. We are growing every day. Soon you find that this moving up and down is just stressful and you stay where you are, however bad, and say, I wish I did this, I wish I would. But you can do it now. Or bring the kids to on holiday every year if you can. If it's so expensive and you realize that actually we spend more time and fun in Africa, why not go? Here is Jacqueline as an example. I've told you copy and paste if you want to. Copy and paste my existence. Okay. Because I work online, Dumso, Ghanaians, road shedding, Ugandans, lights out for others who may not understand what I'm saying. Can happen anytime. At times 5 o'clock I see the fans going off. Some lights going on. I'm like, oh, okay, you've taken your current. But I'm not worried. Do you know why? You pre-plan. There's generators. Go to Costco. They are affordable. They are seasonal, but Costco brings good generators. Okay? B&Q brings generators. It's diesel generators. Hey, you can afford the petrol for that once in a while. That's one. Secondly, what I use to help me with backup is what I call the inverter. It stores some energy, so that when this energy blackouts come on and off anytime they want, because you never know when it's coming or going, I can still conclude my work or finish up whatever I'm doing. So that's another way. Broadband data, I hear there is Momo. I've not learned how they work, but MTN provides phone services whereby you have to buy data, airtime. Uganda has airtime, data. There's a third one. I don't know how many levies we pay, but they are there. What I realized from another YouTuber is to get a router. So MTN, I got a router from MTN. You pay reasonably, but at least you're sure you'll have your service. You can back it up. The other online services that can back it up for you say that the broadband is strong enough, or the signals are strong enough, Wi-Fi is strong enough for you to work. So I work from home. Kids use their part, I use my own part of gigabytes, whatever it is, and we're okay. Where in Britain you have broadband, you're busy working 24 hours, you're paying for service, you don't really actually use that much, because even your phone is a free phone, most of us, has its own broadband, its own Wi-Fi. So by the time you come back to pay for one that is at home, that you don't even use, it's a waste of money. I don't know, but well, here in Ghana, MTN has a router. If I was in the sitting room, I would show you, and it works fine. Come to Sky. Oh, sorry, we don't have Sky. We use a DSTV dish. Yeah, we've set up that. It has a few Ghanaian channels here and there, and depending on how much you top it up, and I don't know how they call the rest, but you can get as many channels infinity. Kids are entertained. Most of the day they're outside playing. They don't even care about telly. Once in a while, say, oh, mommy, what? Can we watch something? So the remote is there, the telly is there, deal with it. What you want to watch? Forget excuses. Okay? That's done. Broadband, Wi-Fi, television can be sorted. Most of you are saying it's money. Yes, it's money, but when you come and you plan for that, it's still affordable. Okay? Washing, initially, before the washing machine arrived, I'm a trained African girl. I've never forgotten how to hand wash. Okay, these ones were off. These Igbo nails, first few weeks, days, what I did is hand wash every day, little by little. We are a large family, 6 of us. And it was fun. I still got it in the blood. But the dry, I don't need that. Unless the rain season becomes worse, but I don't need that. Before you even turn around to call it midday, the clothes are drip dried. On the line, the heat is too much that you don't need a dryer. The washing machine, yes, for hard clothes, you're busy. I know soon I'll get so busy that I'll use it more. But to be honest, other than taking my energy, it's not a must if you know what I mean. It's not a must to use the washing machine. Okay? The other way is for you who like using housemaids or house help. Get somebody to wash your clothes. But I'm not somebody like that. I still have my energy. With time, maybe. The farm, yes, I have people to help. But my own personal things, I do them myself. Looking after my family, house, and the rest of the business is my business. House help, I'm still wondering if I really need one. Okay, that said, that's an alternative. Then we came to the other question was around, let me remember. Food I mentioned, I own a farm. It's a coconut farm mainly, but the coconut take a while to grow, and in the process, we've intercropped with plantain, cassava, cocoyam. These are all short-term crops. The major crop in there, our real intended target is the coconut. But like you know, the suckers, when you cut the plantain, are all circulated with water. So in this dry season, which is called Harmattan season, it's very hot and dry, and plants struggle to get water. And yourself, if you're in the area, my farm is quite far, not too far, but in deep. It's just deep. You need water, so they help each other in a way. The plantain provides the shade, and when I cut them, the stems provide the water. Okay, the yam, the cassava, that's for me to eat and the family. Africa, you know, we have extended family and we have fun with that. Okay, so we all eat from that. Those who want to sell it, because it's plenty, because the place is vast. When I take you there, I have videos on that, I'll show you. Okay, that is food. The other food is rice you stock. One thing I've struggled to find, guys, is the potato we use for chips. The final thing I want to talk about is how you can arrange to live wherever you are in the diaspora, either UK or America, whichever way. I mainly speak on behalf of UK. First of all, we downsized. Before we were in 5-bedroom, downsized to what we can handle, and finally set a deadline. You have to set a deadline. Okay, otherwise you can be living for even 5 years. You stay in a situation and say you're still living. Have a deadline. Okay, deadline is one thing. The other thing is slow down on how you spend your money in the UK. From the start anyway, for me, I think I'll say it's natural. I realized bulk serves a lot of money as a family. I made Costco my friend. Costco has not paid for me to say this. That's a disclaimer. okay? But Costco card, the membership card, allows you to buy things in bulk and then just top up from here and there. Costco first, then I can top up from Tesco, I can top up from Sainsbury, I can top up from the local offer license shops. But the major players of one things or the other that you know that you need as a family, Costco, okay? Drinks, tissue, food of almost every type, washing powder, things that you really use as a family on a regular basis. Buy them in bulk, okay? So that budget is there for just that in a way. You don't need to top up these particular things for almost 3 or 4 months, depending on how you waste them. I'll not even say how you use them, unless you're wasteful, okay? Cooking oil, big ones, then I just preempt in sizes I want. Soap, I make my own soap, so that was off the list anyway. So that helps a lot. The other thing, eating out, because we don't have time together all the time to do the traditional way of eating, dining table here, mommy, daddy, and children. We thought of once in a while going out, sit in one place, enjoy a meal together. If that is costly, learn to make the meal. YouTube is there with every information. That's that. The other thing is, if it is everyday things, go to Primark. Primark has the latest brands, but at a budget. Then what else? Those who know me, you know I don't waste money. Listen, when you have something you want done and you know you're the only one who can change it, you don't care about what anybody else says. You have the focus. All in all, this life is doable. When you come to Africa, what you need to think about is the streams of income. What will bring you money every day? What will bring you money weekly? What will bring you money monthly? If it is still tight, but you know that you've achieved at least 70-80% of what you need, say for instance, you have the land, you've built the accommodation, whatever test you have or whatever budget you have, you're not renting. If you're renting, you're just setting yourself to fail in Africa. Rent on the income that is not coming regularly is suicide, let's be honest. It's worse than UK where you know the money is coming, they are taking it whether they want it or not. Here, if you don't have the income, you don't have the income. There's no credit card to play around with here and there, no. Okay? So to me, I would advise that you get the accommodation sorted. That's a big one. Secondly is food. Much as you may eat out, as a family go out here and there are so many places, recreation centers, swimming pools, outdoor this, outdoor that, natural reserves and stuff like that. But you can plan them either once a month. Don't make it a regular thing, please guys. Who are you showing off to? Who is rushing you? Nobody. Okay? Nobody. Do it your way. I want you to do it your way. You're not satisfying anybody. It's your life. We may advise and say, oh yes, there and there, but it is your life. Don't let anybody stress you, please. That's one way. The other thing that is big, water. Water, whether I want it or not, you need water, okay? There are few ways. Dig a borehole. You could connect to the national grid. There is a water meter and pay for it. But what I'm saying, when you leave Britain or when you leave America, wherever, avoid bills. Avoid things that make you have a regular payout and yet you don't have much coming in. So, housing, water. Harvest rain. You could just install tanks everywhere, but rain at the moment, as I've mentioned, we are in the dry season in Ghana. This is Hamatan season. There's hardly any rain. So much as that is installed, it's not what we are relying on. We dug our own hole. We dug our own water pumps and stuff like that. I've shown you that installing a water or electronic water pump. I've shown that video already. House, I've shown you a lapse or time lapse of our annex. This is the annex. It's, let me put this, it's quite big. Some of you are saying, is that the annex? That's a full big house. Yes, it's a big house it accommodates anybody. It's, if you stop at this point, you're still comfortable. I am comfortable, okay? Though there's a main house to come, the annex has served its purpose to accommodate us. Energy, we have electricity, we have solar, we have the generator, we have the gas for the cooking, okay? We have those small backup plans in small, manageable sizes, okay? The fans are running on electricity, but with time, like I said, you plan things in long term. We want the whole house to run on solar, okay? We are switching one part at a time, sockets, lights, yeah? Do it that way. Nobody is rushing you. If you're lucky and you can do it in one go and your house maybe is already there, that's all you were missing, well done. Switch on to solar. Expensive now, cheaper in the long run. Generator, sometimes jump onto the generator when the other sources are wobbly, okay? That's two. The third one is cooking with gas. I've shown you and told you how to install a biodigester. As with generous waste, this will kick into place. That means going to the gas station to buy gas out of the window. Do the now and the later. That means by the time I'm too old to even go and look for 2 pence or 10 pence, I'm still covered. Do you realize it's a kind of retirement plan, freedom plan? That's how I put it. This system, now that you have energy, you can do 100 hours, 40 hours a week, is the time to install these things. Invest in that. Relax later. As I speak, I work for myself. I've only just started, but the energy I have because of the period I've decided to say quits. Yes? I still have the energy, that youthful energy, to do the farming myself, to do this myself. But when you wait for 60, 70 to retire and you didn't invest enough, you either get stuck in a care home somewhere or be abandoned in a tiny council flat somewhere, or keep wishing you went home on time. You have time, whatever age you are. You just need to make up your mind. That is the mindset again. Okay, that said, transport. There's Uber. I heard of another one in Ghana. I'm forgetting the name, but it's also like an Uber. I'm just forgetting Quora or something. There is Okada. Those are boda or motorbikes. All these can be used before you get your own car, okay? And if you decide to get your own car, that means it's an expense. Those who drive know it's an expense, but in this country, it's a necessity. You need to put a budget for a car. Then put an income that comes daily for the fuel and servicing and the rest, okay? If we've done it, you can do it. Just think of, I don't need too big, I can go medium, I can go small, but I need a car of my own. So that I don't have to wait. Africans' issues are around time. We are struggling with time and customer care. I'm not whinging about that, but I know that's an opportunity for anybody in diaspora, including myself, to be the change. Open up something for everybody and show them this is how we do it, and it will make a difference on the continent. Okay. Transport mentioned. Then food I've mentioned. So housing, water, food, transport. The rest fall in their own places. I could rant on all over, talk about the budgets, talk about the income, talk about this. That'll be another day.